Welcome to another episode of Talk to Me. Again, I am Martin Renieses and we're going to discuss about local trade and complex emergencies. As I always do, I'm gonna first define what is local trade and complex emergencies. Local trade. Now, local trade or domestic trade is the trading of local goods within the nation's territory. Now, there are two categories for domestic trade. These are wholesale and retail. Wholesale is buying goods from producers in large quantities and selling them in smaller quantities to retailers or even customers. Complex emergencies. On the other hand, complex emergencies, according to WHO, are situations of disrupted livelihoods and threats to life produced by warfare, civil disturbance, and large-scale movements of people in which any emergency response has to be conducted in a difficult political and security environment. Now that we know what these terms are, the question is, what is their importance in our society? For local trade, it makes sure that exchange of local goods within the country is good and everyone gets resources that they need locally. Doing this also makes sure that production factors are in proper places for a country to grow by allowing different types of goods and services to spread out in the whole country. That helps employment rate to increase and increase also the standard of living of its citizens. For complex emergencies, a definition helps us to distinguish first if the country is in crisis and therefore needs coordinated help from other groups, for example, the UN. Some characteristics of complex emergencies include 1. A large number of civilian victims. 2. Substantial international assistance is needed and the response goes beyond the mandate or capacity of any one agency. 3. Delivery of humanitarian assistance is impeded or prevented by parties to the conflict. To explain this better, I will use an example when these terms that we discuss was vital for a nation. And we will use Japan!
After the Sengoku Jidai and the Tokugawa shogunate was in power in Japan, in order for Tokugawa Ieyasu to cement his rule, he declared that Japan will no longer trade from foreigners, so that rival clans will not get arms or support from foreigners. Primarily Spain and Portugal, who are giving arms to some clans they favor. If they intend to grab the power from him, well, yeah, they must this in a way that it's good for the citizens and it will make their economy better, which turned out exactly that way. Tokugawa Ieyasu was praised for this and established peace among the nation. This time of Japan was called Sakoku, and local trade is the main exchange system for over 220 years.
Well, to be honest, it's not like it's purely local trade, since some clans like the Satsuma clan from the south and the Date clan from the north was trading secretly with the Chinese and Taiwanese traders.
After Sakoku, since the world is kinda mad that Japan is not letting them trade, United States, one day had enough, and Commodore Perry sailed to the ports of Japan to force them to sign treaties to let them trade,
which obviously favored the US more.
Japanese feudal lords were angry at these treaties because for them, it's like the shogun just sold their countries to foreigners, which ignited revolts and another civil war. Two sides were again fighting for control, but this time it's between the imperial forces and the shogunate forces. With the country in disarray due to political turmoil, people suffered and lots of countries tried to give their help to Japan, both the imperialists and loyalists, to remedy the situation.
And that's it. Sorry for that fake Japanese accent. So these are historical applications of these terms and I hope that I was able to clear them out for you. Tune in again for another episode of Talk to Me and happy holidays!